Hello, thank you so much for viewing this Site Captain training. This is relevant for any of our remote or in-person kickoff participants, so please feel free to watch this video and let us know if you have any questions. So our training agenda today is going to include a little bit about the Clean Your Streams background, some of the roles and responsibilities, the schedule of the day, the supplies that you're going to receive, some safety training, data reporting information, and finally the appreciation picnic. Thank you so much for joining us, and we do have a lot to cover, but I'll try not to keep you too bored. So most importantly, we cannot do this work without you, so thank you so much for coming out and helping to clean up our waterways. Our planning team was also very important when it came to preparing for the Clean Your Streams and to make sure the entire day is a success. Some of these representatives are from the City of Toledo, City of Perrysburg, City of Oregon. We also have some from the Lucas County Engineers, Oak Openings Regional Conservancy, University of Toledo Verdantis, as well as some Partners for Clean Streams staff. So this is my third Clean Your Streams day working for Partners for Clean Streams. I did participate for a few years as a site captain, so I have been in your shoes before. Some people on our planning team have been participating for nearly all 28 years that we have held this program, which definitely speaks to the impact of our program. So if you are a first-time member or are returning, please let us know if this is your first Clean Your Streams day or how long you've been participating. For those of you returning, what is the reason you are coming back every year? And for our first timers, what are you most excited about? All right, so for a little bit of the Clean Your Streams Day history, the first Clean Your Streams Day was held in 1997 with just 60 volunteers. This was held by what was then known as the Remedial Action Plan Committee for the Maumee Area of Concern. This has now been renamed as the MAC, so we don't use Maumee RAP Committee as much anymore. So obviously you can see that the numbers differ a lot more from our first Clean Your Streams Day back in 1997. Last year we had 723 volunteers, 180 of those being on your own or during our remote week, and then we also had another 540 or so in-person volunteers. We were able to collect nearly 15,000 pounds of trash and work along 70 different sites as well. So a little bit about who is coordinating Clean Your Streams Day. So I work for a nonprofit called Partners for Clean Streams. We were formed in 2007, and we are a local community organization. We are based, or our office is based in Perrysburg, but we work all around the greater Toledo area. A quote that I really like, but unfortunately did not coin, we get trash out of rivers and people into them. We support local and regional water quality improvements through regional coordination and planning, public education, habitat and stream restoration projects, and community volunteer events such as Clean Your Streams, water quality monitoring, storm drain marking, and our fishing recycling efforts as well. To sum it up, we're pretty cool. If you want to, you can donate to us. All right, so volunteers for Clean Your Streams are actually a part of an international effort. So the International Coastal Cleanup was a grassroots cleanup effort coordinated by the Ocean Conservancy. They're based in Washington, D.C. and have been coordinating the International Coastal Cleanup for over 35 years. In 2023, they had nearly 500,000 international volunteers removing over 7 million pounds of trash from the shorelines. A little fun fact about our Great Lakes states, we are still considered a coastal region. The one thing that we really like about the International Coastal Cleanup is that they use trash data. This trash data shapes new international and national policies, laws, and influences major manufacturers to change packaging materials. Our data is directly part of a bigger picture, and the volunteers that participate in Clean Your Streams Day actually contribute most of Ohio's data. So I want to start off by introducing our roles and the responsibilities you will have as a site captain. So to start us off, the event coordinators are the Partners for Clean Streams staff. We're responsible for planning and overseeing Clean Your Streams, including the registration, food, garbage hauling, emergencies, and coordinating the planning team committee. So on our Partners for Clean Streams staff, we have our executive director, Jesse Stock. Talking right now is Kayla Kirkpatrick, our program specialist. We also have Mary Winkle, who is our communications and outreach specialist. We have Antonia Belts, which is joined us as our program intern this year. And not pictured here is our water quality monitoring coordinator, now behind the scenes data analyst, Kat Kiefer. She's not part of our event coordinators, but she is a very important part to the Partners for Clean Streams staff. So the next role is the kickoff coordinators. These are the group that is part of our planning committee. They're the ones who are going to be doing all of the behind the scenes work for Clean Your Streams sites. They make sure that all of the garbage pickups are coordinated with local municipalities. They're the ones assigning captains and team members to their sites. And they are also second point of contact for emergencies after 911. The morning of, they're going to welcome and orient the volunteers, so make sure that you find these kickoff coordinators once you get to your kickoff. If you are not already familiar with your kickoff coordinator, I have some pictures listed here which should hopefully be up to date for you to identify your kickoff coordinators the morning of. So at the Oregon kickoff, we have Andrea and Don. At the Monroe Street kickoff, we have Marilyn, Brian, and Larry. We have Bob and Matt at Sidecut, John at Secor. Zach is our Toledo Early College kickoff coordinator. That is a private cleanup, but we do have some site captains from that kickoff that are attending this training. We have Aria at Glass City Metro Park, Tim at the University of Toledo kickoff, and Lauren at the City of Perrysburg Woodlands Park kickoff. If you do have any questions specifically for your kickoff coordinator, please comment below or email us at our admin email, which will be listed later on in this presentation. So our group leaders are the person who signed up the group to attend Clean Your Streams. Most of the people that are group leaders are most likely a site captain, but you might not necessarily be both. These are the people who should be helping to get their group checked in on Clean Your Streams Day by turning in liability forms, etc. So group leaders are often responsible for designating site captains. So if your group has over 10 volunteers, you want to make sure that you are assigning more than one site captain. So if you're bringing a group of 30, you want to make sure that you have 3 site captains. If you're bringing a group of 50, 5 site captains, and so on. All right, finally, for my site captains that are watching this video, you are the middle management and the safety leaders. You want to make sure that you are assigning team jobs, whether that is a data recorder or a trash collector. You want to make sure that you're correctly distributing supplies once you get to your site, making sure that everyone is staying on time, and most importantly, turning in your data cards at the picnic and your site captain reporting form. If you're not attending the picnic, please coordinate with your kickoff coordinator on how to get those forms and information back to them. Most importantly, you're going to be making sure that everyone stays safe at your cleanup site. You don't have to administer first aid, but you are responsible for knowing the proper protocols on how everyone can remain safe. So our site captains do not necessarily have to be the data recorders, but you are responsible for making sure that the data cards are filled out at the end of the cleanup. Each individual data collector should fill out their own card, and make sure to count up all their tallies. But if that is not completed by the data collectors, site captains must make sure that they are completed before giving them back to the kickoff coordinators. So what other responsibilities do you have? Your safety. For safety, the first aid kits are equipped with emergency numbers. There are a pink sheet inside your first aid kit, and they will have the full list of numbers, including Partners for Clean Streams contacts, and also the contacts for all of the kickoff coordinators. For the team assignments, there should be 1 data collector and 2 to 3 trash collectors per mini team. You may have more or less depending on your group size. You're more than welcome to switch jobs after a while. There may be someone that strictly wants to keep one job, but we do want to give the opportunity to other volunteers who are interested to have those jobs as well. Again, make sure you're returning your supplies to your kickoff coordinator. Finally, the team members, they're responsible for collecting trash and trash data. You want to make sure you're recording what the collectors pick up using either the paper data card or the CleanSwell app. For your trash collectors, they are going to be the ones picking up the trash, but most importantly, they want to tell the recorders what they pick up. So whether that's yelling or telling them every 10 cigarette butts or every 30, depending on how bad the site is, that is their responsibility. So to summarize, event coordinators, we're going to be floating between kickoffs. So we have a couple kickoffs that we're going to be attending each day, so you might see us at one point in the day, but we will be gone at a different point. That's because we are trying to get to as many kickoffs as possible. For our kickoff coordinators, there is a regional kickoff. They're in charge of a regional kickoff, which contains many different sites. So they might not be able to be on site with you, but they are at the ready for any questions that you might have. For the group leaders, they are either at a specific site, but then they could also be in charge of a larger group that is split among sites. You could potentially be a group leader and be a site captain, so that is why you might be at a specific site. And then again, the team members are at a specific site as well. So I did have a lot of questions on the schedule of the day, so I hope that this section clears up some of your questions. And again, if you have any questions after this presentation, please reach out to us. All right, so what kind of supplies are you getting? So PCS has a liability and volunteer accident insurance, and you get access to that by filling out these forms. No one should avoid seeking medical attention due to not having insurance. These liability forms are also how we track how many individuals have actually participated. Volunteers should bring their own, but we will have extras that morning. There should be one person per form. Even if you are bringing your entire family, you still need to fill them out individually. If you're attending remotely, you want to make sure you email email a PDF or picture of your liability waiver to our admin email, admin@partnersforcleanstreams.org. This PDF is available both on our website and in our registration confirmation email. Please make sure you fill out everything with an asterisk next to it. All right. Kickoff coordinators will prepare supplies for each team based on the number of volunteers. The supplies for your team will include gloves, bags, grabbers, garbage pile signs, clipboards, pencils, data cards, and first aid kits. When it's time to collect the supplies when you arrive at the kickoff, things will go much more quickly and smoothly if the site captain goes up and collects the supplies for the number of people in their group. Supplies should be returned at the picnic unless the kickoff coordinator states differently and has a plan for collecting them before you leave. The materials that are specifically for site captain use will include the first aid kit. This will include the emergency contact sheet as well as additional safety tip cards and info. You will receive a site map which contains parking and garbage pile info and a site captain reporting form. Please make sure that reporting form is given back to your kickoff coordinator or dropped off at the picnic. We need that to correctly analyze the data after Clean Your Streams. All right, for safety. If you're uncomfortable touching something, general rule, just leave it. You can mark the item's location with flagging tape from your first aid kit and let your kickoff coordinator. If it is an immediate danger to your group, please let your kickoff coordinator know right away. If not, if it's just a valuable item that you found that you want returned to its owner, you can let your kickoff coordinator know at the end of the cleanup. Please make sure every volunteer is wearing gloves, sharing the grabbers, and isolating any sharp or dangerous items in either a heavy-duty bottle or a sharps container if your kickoff coordinator provides one for you. Again, if someone is seriously injured and needs medical treatment immediately, please call 911 and then your kickoff coordinator. All right, so some few safety tips that might seem self-explanatory, but I just want to remind you, watch what you pick up. It might look like something and be something completely different, so please make sure you are being careful. 99% of what we're finding is safe, but I do want you all to stay safe as possible while completing this cleanup. Make sure you're watching where you walk. You may be somewhere with uneven footing, whether that's walking through sticks, wet rocks, and steep banks. Please never climb on log jams. These are extremely dangerous. I don't want anyone getting caught in them. It's better to be safe than sorry. If there's a concern of a lot of trash in a log jam, please note it and let your kickoff coordinator know where that is located, and they'll be able to come back and remove that in a safer manner. Please make sure you're watching for poison ivy, and if you can, wear long pants and closed-toed shoes. Please bring your own bug repellent if you have certain sensitivities. We will also be providing some bug repellent for you, but some people do have their preferences. For poison ivy, simple identification is 3 leaves, let it be, and it could also contain a reddish stem. For poison ivy, it is common in disturbed areas, along roads and trails, and near human activity, so basically everywhere we are working here in Clean Your Streams. Make sure you're watching where you are placing your hands and walking. If you do happen to come into contact, you can wash your skin with soap and cold water, or use the IvyX wipes that are provided in your first aid kit. For wasps and bees, individual wasps and bees are generally not dangerous. If you encounter these, you can just walk away slowly. Don't swat at them and don't press them against yourself. If you do happen to get stung, there are sting treatment wipes in your first aid kit. Please be aware of people who are potentially allergic, and if anyone gets stung, please remember to be observant of them. If you notice anyone has serious swelling, lightheadedness, nausea or vomiting, excessive hives, or itching, trouble breathing, or loss of consciousness related to the wasp and bees, please call 911. Some other hazardous items you may find could include needles, broken glass, nails, etc. Please do not put sharp objects directly into a trash bag. We do have some sharps containers, and some durable bottles you may find on your cleanup are great resources to use for those items. If you find a gun or any other weapon, please don't touch it. Just flag it and tell your kickoff coordinator, or flag the area around it. For toxic chemicals, you may notice some strong smells, including kerosene, gasoline. Again, don't touch these containers, just flag it and tell your kickoff coordinator. Another potential hazard you may run across is drug paraphernalia. This could include bongs, pipes, needles, etc. If you're comfortable, you can pick them up and safely dispose. If not, leave it be and flag it. If you find any illegal drugs, whether it's growing or processed, please leave everything in place, flag the area and tell your kickoff coordinators. They know who to contact about that, and local police departments have asked us to leave these items in place, but to make them aware. Another potential hazard, but unlikely, is meth lab activity. The Sheriff's Department has still advised us to inform you about them, so that is what we're going to cover over the next few slides. Your kickoff coordinators have been trained in how to recognize and handle these situations. We have never confirmed any during cleanups, and hopefully it will stay that way. So what do you do in case of suspected meth lab activity? Most importantly, don't touch anything. Clear all of your volunteers out of the area. Flag the area and contact your kickoff coordinator immediately. One method found could be a one-pot method. These can be found anywhere, rural or urban, and is essentially a bomb under pressure. The ingredients are toxic and potentially harmful. They could be discarded or dumped nearby without any regard for their surroundings, so please be wary of what you pick up. You might find the one pot itself. It could be in a plastic bottle with some white solid and dark pieces, or just some of the ingredients. This include sinus med packaging, lithium metal from inside batteries, drain openers, instant cold packs, or camping fuel. You may also run across opiates and fentanyl. They are a growing concern in the area, so if you see a very small plastic wrapper with a twisty tie or some small folded up foil pieces, don't touch them, just flag them and contact your kickoff coordinator. If you do happen to come in contact with these hazards, please contact 911 immediately. Fentanyl is very hard to see and identify beforehand, so please continue to use your gloves and grabbers to avoid contact. Again, we've never found this, and hopefully this won't be an issue. So something that we do find from year to year are homeless encampments. These can be found anywhere, but are most likely going to be at our urban sites. We do treat these sites as someone's home. So if a site does look clearly abandoned, you're more than welcome to clean it up. But if it looks like it's still in recent use, please just leave it be and clean somewhere else. If you do leave the area without cleaning it up, please let your kickoff coordinator know. And if someone does approach you that is living there and wants to give you things, you're more than welcome to take those with you. But they may also tell you that they would like to keep their items there, and that is okay as well. If you find something of value like a credit card, wallet, jewelry, safe, or anything with a serial number, these items should not be thrown away with the rest of your trash. Please note the location where the items were found, and if it's too large to move, flag it and tell your kickoff coordinator so that they can come back at a later time. If the item is small enough, take it to your kickoff coordinator and they will return it to its owner or turn it over to the authorities. Some final notes for safety. Please try to have at least 2 adults per group when working with youth. Please minimize the one-to-one adult and youth interaction. We do use similar protocols and policies to groups like the Scouts. In 2024, again, we are just wanting you to follow all COVID-19 policies that your organization has, as well as the county that are in place at this time. Some general advice for physical safety: never work alone. We want you to work in at least pairs. Please use the safety supplies we've provided. If you have any concerns or issues, please contact our executive director at the following email or reach out to us at our admin email and we will forward it on. So what exactly should go up the chain? So if you have broken glass, pocket knives, PPE, syringes, or one-time use drug paraphernalia, with the exception of meth labs, there's no need to contact your kickoff coordinator, but please write it on your data card. If you find any valuable items such as credit cards, jewelry, anything with a serial number, again, contact your kickoff coordinator by the end of the cleanup and make sure it is passed off to them. The meth labs, any items that pose an immediate threat, medical emergencies, weapons such as guns or knives, please contact your kickoff coordinator. Second to contacting the authorities and 911. Now on to data reporting. So why do we record cleanup data? Well, Partners for Clean Streams volunteers aren't just do-gooders. We're community scientists. We record data because we know what makes a difference. We want to measure our impact and the difference we make. We also like to record data so that we can compare it from site to site and to year. We learn how best to target removal, prevention, and education strategies, as well as share our results with other organizations, government agencies, and companies. So how do we use cleanup data locally? Well, we can understand area trends. For example, we have been finding more single-use plastic in the last few years than we did 28 years ago, and we are finding a lot less large-scale illegal dumping than when we first began back in 1997 as well. We are able to share our data with local jurisdictions, and we're also to be able to create prevention education methods that can be tailored to what's being found, whether it's an escape trash through a storm drain or illegal dumping of tires. At the regional and national scale, we like to identify trends to inform policy and funding decisions and work with companies to change packaging and disposal methods. All right, so I'm going to start by covering the data card since that's most of what you will be using, and then I'll move on to briefly touch on CleanSwell for any of our remote participants or anyone that prefers to use the mobile app. So the data cards are often preferred for the Cleaner Streams Day kickoffs. 3 to 4 people will be using a card. If you have a larger group, we do recommend splitting up and having multiple data cards. Post cleanup, you want to make sure you're turning in your data card and site captain reporting form to your kickoff coordinator. If you have any questions, please let us know, but I will explain a little bit more about what the data cards look like and how to use them in the later part of the presentation. And then we also have our CleanSwell app. So for the front of the data card, this is most of what you're going to be using at the very beginning of your cleanup, and then you're also wanting to refer back to it at the end of your cleanup as well. Your kickoff coordinators will likely pre-fill some of these sections, but when you make sure they're filled out as a site captain, it does help us out later. Most of this is self-explanatory, but there are a few details that I want to make sure that you know. If you go to multiple sites throughout your cleanup, please make sure that each site has its own data card. So we want you to make sure that you're filling in the if your kickoff coordinator did not already fill in their information, the kickoff coordinator, site captain, and name of the data recorder, as well as the phone numbers associated with them. If you're unsure of the name of your site, please ask your kickoff coordinator. In zone or county, you can include the watershed, whether that's the Maumee River, Ottawa River, Swan Creek, and much more. So we don't need every single item listed, but anything unusual, large, or of a larger quantity, please list it in this yellow box highlighted here. It is critically important that you include this weight estimate, especially for our bags. This helps us know how many bags and any large items there are that could not be bagged. It'll help us better understand your impact and your estimate of the total weight. Some of your sites may have small hand scales to help you with the approximation. For our back of the data card, we use tally marks in each category and then total those up at the end of your cleanup. PCS staff goes through every single one of these data cards at the end of the Clean Your Streams day and inputs it directly into the Tides database, which is the same database that is used for the CleanSwell app. So the easier you make it for us to read, the happier we are when looking back over what we found. So the one area that we don't want you to forget on the back of this data card is this very bottom section that is highlighted here, the cleanup summary. You want to make sure you're including the number of trash bags collected, the weight of the trash collected, which you were able to estimate on the front part of the card, as well as the distance cleaned. If you are unsure of how far of a distance you had cleaned today, you can ask your kickoff coordinator or one of the staff members, and we will be able to get that question answered for you. So for the CleanSwell app, it pretty much matches the data card. It's just a digital version. But we do want to note that you should be using either the data card or CleanSwell, but please do not use both for a specific cleanup. CleanSwell is a good option if you registered for our remote kickoff, which is happening this upcoming week. So thank you so much if you are participating in our remote kickoff. And you can also find this app in your phone's app store, whether that is Apple or Android. So when you use CleanSwell, you will hit start this cleanup or start a cleanup. It will bring up this page on the left. You want to include the number of people in your group as well as a group name. It does say optional, but please include at least the acronym CYS 28. This will help us know that it is part of our cleanup efforts here at Partners for Clean Streams and not another organization. And also, your location does auto locate through Google, but if it doesn't give you the correct address, you can change the location to a better address. So once you hit start a new cleanup, it will bring you to the second page, which shows all of the categories that were seen listed before on the data card. You can click on each one of the main categories to find the individual items. You will then click the tiles every time that you find an item. So let's say you find 3 beverage cans. You can either hit the tile 3 times or you can hold down the tile and manually enter 3 cans. Same with cigarette butts. You might find a group of 100 cigarette butts and you don't want to hit the tile 100 times. Just hold down the tile, input 100, and you can move on. The one thing about CleanSwell is it can't estimate any of the weight for our manually entered other items or debris. So just make sure that you are manually adjusting the weight before you submit your data. Please do remember to hit submit, both while you're still on site and in general. Otherwise, it will record you as still cleaning during your journey home or will not properly submit to the database. If you are unsure if your data did get submitted, you can reach out to us through our admin email and we'd be happy to confirm that information with you. And we can also give you a little explanation on how you might be able to find that information yourself. So for garbage hauling, if you find something that is too large to move, you can record the item and then tell your kickoff coordinator. This is also an opportunity that you can use your flagging tape to mark it. If a pile is put somewhere else other than designated, occasionally we have bags that are way too heavy to haul all the way to the designated location. Please make sure to note the location of the pile on your site captain reporting form and also telling your kickoff coordinator so that the group that is picking up the trash after the event can properly find the piles. For our tires and scrap metal, we want to make sure that we're placing these piles separate to the trash pile but still in the same general area. So our tires will be recycled through municipalities and metro parks, and occasionally we do have scrappers that come by and collect those scrap metals as well. So I do want to invite everyone to our appreciation picnic, whether you're attending our Clean Your Streams Day event remotely or in person, anyone can join us. There will be free food, free prizes, and some door prizes and raffle prizes from local businesses, as well as some free Clean Your Streams t-shirts that specifically are centered around Clean Your Streams 28. And we will also be bringing along some of our t-shirts from years past. So if you skipped a year or if you weren't able to grab a t-shirt from a prior year, there are opportunities for that as well. The one thing that we are super excited about being a nonprofit is we have been able to host this event for 28 years for free because of the donations, volunteer hours, and enthusiasm put on by our community. So something very important are that site captains should arrange for or drop off supplies at the picnic unless you have otherwise coordinated with your kickoff. At the picnic, you can visit education stations from local partners, congratulate any of the Youth Clean Your Streams Challenge winners, which will be announced at the picnic, as well as be a part of our group photo. There are challenges available this year as well for youth, collegiate, and everyone who doesn't fall in those categories. We have some photo challenges for everyone, as well as a challenge for businesses, nonprofits, and other groups. If you bring 1 to 9 volunteers, you will be considered a creek crusader. 10 to 29 will be a stream protector, 30 to 49 a river guardian, and 50 plus are watershed warriors. Again, we want your photos, especially before and after, strange finds, and action shots. Make sure to tell us who took the picture, where you were, and whether or not you are participating as a group so that we can correctly credit you. Some ways to share are through Twitter or X, Facebook, Instagram. You can use hashtag CleanYourStreams419 and we will be able to find it there. Or you can also email us at our admin email, admin@partnersforcleanstreams.org. Final reminders, all volunteers must complete a liability form to be considered a volunteer for Clean Your Streams. Minors must have a parent guardian signature when participating. Safety, don't pick up anything if you're not comfortable picking it up. For removing garbage, please make sure to separate piles of trash for different haulers. There might be some bagged items, unbagged, tires, scrap metal, like I mentioned before. You want to make sure you're completing a data card or submitting the data through CleanSwell. Most importantly, explore and enjoy your waterways, and you're always welcome to support clean, clear, and safe water, not only by volunteering, but donating financially to Partners for Clean Streams. If you have any questions for your kickoff coordinators or Partners for Clean Streams staff, please reach out to us at our admin email, or if you have the contact information for your kickoff coordinator, you can work with them directly. Thank you so much for volunteering, and I hope to see you Saturday. And if not, I hope to see you at a future program or see you in your pictures. All right, thank you so much.